Nelson Mandela. Can you imagine how horrible it must have been for every single deaf person watching that speech? Imagine what it must have been like as a deaf person watching that at home, sitting there. That must have been the craziest thing they've ever seen in their lives. Deaf people just watching going, hello? Hello? What? Why is he talking about smoking? Why is he talking about smoking? Talk about Nelson Mandela. I'm talking about, talk about Nelson Mandela. What's wrong? Why is he talking about, what? Hello? Why did he? This is the worst speech ever. There's something wrong with this guy. Barack has a smoking problem. What the hell? Talk about Mandela. This guy, what's wrong with him? This is the worst speech. I can't listen anymore. This is horrible. This is horrible. Tell me when it's finished. I can't do this, man. That speech must have been ridiculous. By the way, that's only the second time I've ever told a joke about deaf people, ever. Only the second time. Told one joke when I was starting out in comedy and then I stopped because I believed you shouldn't make jokes about disabled people. It's the wrong thing to do. It's wrong, you know. And I never did it again until one day my life changed. I got asked to do a show in Sun City. I was asked to do a show. Sasol was organizing a going away party for the South African Paralympic team when they were going out to London. And so they invited me. They said, Trevor, we'd like you to come and do a show to perform for Ama Kroko Kroko. We'd like... Oh, you forgot. You forgot that that's the name we gave our Paralympic team. Not a nickname. That was our official name. We had Ama Pogo Pogo, Bafana Bafana, and Ama Kroko Kroko. We called our Paralympic athletes Ama Kroko Kroko, which means the broken things. A bunch of crocs. That is the worst thing you can call a disabled person ever. Ama Kroko Kroko. That is what we call. You got Ama Kroko. That's probably what Reva said to Oscar that night. That's the only thing I can think of. Don't you call Ama Kroko Kroko? Ah! Ama. So anyway, I was doing a show for Ama Kroko Kroko, right? And because I'm there, I did no jokes about disabled people or anything that could be seen as offensive. I did nothing like that. And after the show, I was meeting some of the guys. Everything went well. And one of the athletes came up to me, and I'll never forget this till the day I die. He came up to me, and he was partially deaf. And he introduced himself, and he was a fan, a great fan. And he was like, hey, Trevor, hey, man, how are you? I said, hey, how you doing, buddy? How are you? Good to meet you. Good. He said, yeah, man, great to meet you. Great to meet you. I'm a big fan. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. He said, yeah, dude, like, I love your stuff. You know what? You should have subtitles because, you know, sometimes I don't get it because I'm partially deaf. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I didn't even know. I just thought you had an accent. That's cool, man. That's nice to meet you. He said, yeah, that's cool, man. I didn't have a question if you don't mind. I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, how come you never tell jokes about deaf people? So I'm sorry, what? I don't tell jokes about deaf people. He said, yeah, how come you never tell jokes about deaf people? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you tell jokes about everyone. Tall people, short people, black, white, everyone. But I've never heard you tell a joke about deaf people. Why? So you've never heard me tell a joke about deaf people? Yeah. No, man, not like that, you stupid. No, man, you're an idiot. I said, no, dude, I don't know. I don't make jokes about deaf people. He said, yeah, why not? I was like, because I shouldn't make jokes about deaf people because if I did that, then deaf people would be hurt and they would be offended. Why would we be hurt? It's not like we don't know we're deaf. So I thought I was protecting you. Protecting us from what? From laughing. We also want jokes. We're deaf. Yeah, we know we're different, but we still want the same things. I was like, yeah, but you know what's funny is you say I must make jokes, right? But even if you're cool with it, you know who will complain? People who can hear. Yeah, they'll complain on your behalf because that's what people do. They get offended for other people. They'll be the ones going, oh, Trevor Noah's an asshole. He made jokes about deaf people. You're like, so? Why do you care? I said, because it hurts. It hurts. He's like, dude, you're a comedian. Suck it up. Like, it's easy for you. No, dude, just make the joke. If the jokes are funny, people will laugh and then we move on. I was like, yeah, you know what? You say that. But then what do I do if they complain? He's like, dude, if they complain, then complain. Okay, you know what? Go do the joke. Go do the joke. And then, if they complain, you must do what I do. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just don't listen. And one of the most fascinating things I read about recently, one of the most fascinating places, was a place called Rochester, New York, where, genuinely, this blew my mind, where they had a city which was basically dedicated to rehabilitating people who had escaped slavery. All right, so black people who had escaped the South, got into the North, were rehabilitated at this place. Frederick Douglass wrote many of his works there. The suffragette movement kicked off there. It's a powerful, powerful little place. And like I was reading these stories, and what they would do is, slaves would escape from the South. They'd make their way to the North. They would get to Rochester. The Underground Railroad would get them there. And then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. I think that's one of the most amazing stories I've ever read. Because, like, do you know how convincing you'd have to be to convince someone who's just, like, they've just escaped slavery? Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. All right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life, and everything's going to be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we got to get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're going to get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. We don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time. That shit didn't go so well. So, yeah, we got to find another way to get to Canada, if you don't mind. Now, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester. Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we going to walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat. My friend, you got to get on the boat. Man, I ain't got to do shit. I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat. You gotta get on the boat, though. You're free now. You gotta get over this. Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat. We gotta get you on the boat, damn it. I'm not getting on no boat. And that was the day the phrase "nigga please" was invented. A white man turned and he was like, "Nigga please, I need you on that boat." And that story was passed down generation to generation, black person to black person, free man to free man. So then that white man got down on his knees and he said, please. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Nigga, please. I know that's probably a phrase Barack Obama used at least once in the White House. At least once. Like, Mr. President, do you think Trump is because of you? Do you think you caused this? Nigga, please. Just one time. One time I know he used it. Actually, I had the pleasure of meeting President Obama while he was still in office. Probably one of the craziest experiences I've ever had in my life. Yeah, came out of nowhere. I was at the Daily Show, I was in my office, and I got a phone call from the administration. And someone on the other end was like, "Hi, Trevor, would you like to interview the President of the United States in the White House?" And I was like, "Do you ask stupid questions?" He's like, "Of course I want to meet the President of the United States. Are you serious?" And the day finally came. Went to DC with my TV crew, and they set us up in a room, which was literally president's arrival for his safety, right? So they just give you a window, like a cable guy. So we're all waiting there, listening to every footstep, every moment. And then he just popped in behind us, scared the shit out of everybody. Yeah, because it's a secret door, but they don't tell you, again, for safety, right? So we're staring at that door, and all of a sudden it was like, hello. It was like, ah! But I had a great time in the interview with him. He was really, really kind to everyone in the room. And we turned off the cameras, and I promise you, he became even nicer. We just had a conversation. I thought he was going to leave. I mean, he's president of the United States. You've got to go do something. And he just chilled for a bit, you know, and we spoke as human beings, and it went really well until he turned to me and he said, Trevor, you know, I got a show that I'm doing in a few weeks. A little thing that I thought maybe you want to pop by and perform, if you don't mind. So, Mr. President, I would be honored. You just let me know when and where. What's the show going to be for, sir? He said, well, Trevor, I'm doing a little thing for my AIDS, and I thought maybe you'd want to be there. I said, I would love to. Thank you. I'm sorry, a show for what? He said, for my AIDS, Trevor. I said, you have AIDS? And then he explained what he meant. And I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. Because I had just looked at the President of the United States and asked him if he had AIDS. And you know what the worst thing is that he was nice to me as well? Because I said that, and then he explained, and then I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. President, I didn't mean that. I don't even know why I thought it's just like you said AIDS, and then like the AIDS. You know, because here's the thing, in my defense, right, I get it now. He means AIDS as in the White House aides, the people who help the president. I get it now, but in my defense, where I'm from, AIDS is some other shit that doesn't help anybody. No one in Africa is walking around like, let me introduce you to my AIDS, huh? So now I'm here and I'm frazzled and I'm like, Mr. President, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. You don't have AIDS. You did definitely, and even if you did have AIDS, there's nothing wrong with having AIDS. There's no stigma. We can still be cool. Actually, I don't even know why I'm saying this. I'm so sorry. And he's like, Trevor, calm down. Trevor, calm down. I was like, I'm so sorry, Mr. President. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said I'm probably the dumbest person you've ever met, Mr. President. He's like, no, Trevor, calm down. I'm the dumbest person you've ever met. He's like, no, Trevor, that's not true. I've met Trump. Get out of here! So smooth. The newspapers say that he's famous, so now people treat you like you're famous. They start saying weird things to you. Strangest things people would say to me. Trevor, well done on everything, eh? Congrats. But you know, even though you're going to America, don't forget us, all right? Don't you forget us. Like, I don't even know who you are. People would say the weirdest things to me. You know what the number one thing people have said to me? Number one thing? It's not good luck. It's, hey, Trevor, good luck over there, but whatever you do, don't forget your accent, all right? Yeah, please, don't pull a Charlize on us, okay? You keep your accent, man. Make us proud. Everyone said that. Trevor, brah. Hey, Trevor Noah. Hey, Masakan. Hey, man, you making us proud, no? Yeah, man, you're doing big things for us, but brother, can I ask you a favor, no? Don't lose your accent, no? Don't lose your accent. Yeah, when you come back from the States, you mustn't come back talking funny, okay? Please, brother. If you lose your accent, don't come back. Just threaten me? What does that mean, if you lose your accent? How do you lose your accent? People make it sound like you're going to be walking down the street and then just out of the blue, you'll be like, my accent! I lost my accent! What the hell is my... Oh, well, hello? No, that's not my accent! That's my accent! How are you going to lose your accent? I was stressed now. Because I don't want South Africans to think I'm not South African. I don't want them to think I've forgotten something. This is my home. Now I'm stressed coming home. I'm in the plane flying back to Johannesburg, and the whole time I'm just thinking, don't lose your accent, Trevor. Don't lose your accent. Don't lose your accent. Is that how I say accent? Accent.